All righty, kids. Hello and welcome to another edition of And Just Like That.
And
We're
just like
here,
that.
just like that, girl. It's Friday. We've been here Friday nights, and it's really good. We've been having a good time here on Friday nights. Sometimes we're off the rails. All righty, kids. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes we're off the rails. Sometimes we're fine. But we have a good time talking about this show. Hi, Emily Mae. How you doing?
Hi, James Law Jr.
It's like,
I am so much better, but I miss my sexy voice. I have a little bit of the congestion still,
okay.
but I do miss my and just like that.
Yeah.
Another episode after show. We're talking everything sex, everything Carrie Bradshaw, and everything Max Original and just
Good.
like that.
Ooh, I love it.
There you
Yeah.
go. See, I do have that congestion still, so it's a little bit, but much better. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. This episode is gonna be off the rails, by the way, because I am in
Yes.
a mood. I
Oh,
am
she's
in
in the
a
mood.
mood.
And I'm drinking coffee. So it's gonna be
If
interesting.
you're drinking coffee, I'm in a mood. I'm ready for bed. It is Friday night.
I'm ready for
I'm
bed.
not messing around. I'm staring at my bed. I'm ready.
She said I'm ready for bed. Oh my god, I love
I
it.
know, I'm old.
I love it. But you look young. So folks, hi Gail Martin. Hi everybody, come into the chat. Yes, come on in, join us. We have a lot of fun here. This is the and so I gotta say this is the And Just Like That after show. We are on all audio streaming service platforms. Thank you once again for making the show number one. Emily Mae, thousands of downloads last week.
This is
Again.
amazing. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I'm glad you're listening to us. And
We're the
right
official,
now,
unofficial
right,
after
the
show.
unofficial after show for this. And I trust me, if you see me, I've been tagging them in it. Tag them in it too. Share our videos. I click
Yes,
clips here. Share our clips. Let them know that we should get some of the stars on the show, or at least get
exactly. You
lights
guys
or
tag
something.
me, tag James, tag all of us, tag HBO Max or Max, tag them all because we want even tag Carrie Bradshaw, tag Carrie Bradshaw, tag Sarah Jessica Parker, tag
Yes.
Kristen Davis. Like she has her podcast. We want to
Yes.
talk to them. We
Yes.
want to hear all about it. So Carrie Bradshaw was, I mean, God darn it. Sarah Jessica Parker was just on the podcast.
She was. She was.
Guys, you guys, it's been a week.
I did last week. I said Carrie once. I meant Sarah
Yes.
once. So it happened.
Again, it happens, but we need to get them on. I want to talk to them.
Yes.
And I want to talk to Cynthia Nixon too. So let's get them
Yes.
all. Tag them, share clips, tag me and the podcast, all of that on social media because we start a campaign, an online campaign to get them on.
I agree. I totally agree. And thanks for actually the video last week. You must have liked your voice because we have more views than we had ever on this season. So
let me know. Tag me or comment if you want me to continue my sexy voiceover. I will make it happen.
She'll make it happen. That's what she's here for. And just like that, it happens. So we're here talking about apples to apples. And they actually played the game apples to apples. I haven't played since I was a kid. So that was kind of funny. I love board games. This episode completes the first fourth of the season. I mean, if I'm doing it right. It's 12 episodes, the third of the season, fourth of the season. So, and we got a powerful episode, folks, and some laughs at the same time, and movement, which I like. So I would do this. I did this last week, and people seem to like it. I'm going to start with this. We're going to do each storyline. So I'm going to start with the lesser of all the storylines because they didn't really do much. That was Sema. Ryan Serhant comes in and wants her to work for him, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no. But then he wants her out in a week.
Yeah.
But basically, it's all going down. She's gonna start her own thing.
And that's remember we did theorize about that, wondering what she was gonna do. And honestly, I think that's the best thing for her. She can be her own boss. I love how she pulled a Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
She was like, are you going to come with me? And then I love how the assistant did not understand the reference.
Yes.
They're playing into that generational gap there. We obviously both got it. I chuckled.
Me too.
Because that's like a really famous scene, right?
Yes.
Jerry Maguire walking away from, I mean, it's a little bit different situation. Right. He kind of really messes up a job and then gets fired, right?
Yes.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I think that's what happens.
It came out in '96.
Sema, that's kind of she got pushed out, right? She got pushed out. But Yeah, I liked it. I
I
think this
love
is
I
the
love that
last
assistant.
move that she needs to do.
Well, I love that assistant was like, my rent's $3,000 a month.
Yeah,
It's like, well, I
fact.
tried. I tried. I was just like, I tried. It was like,
And I
just like,
thought, oh my God, that's so cheap.
I don't meet you guys. I was like, wow, in New York, in New
Yeah.
York
Well, she
City.
has 6 roommates, I'm sure.
That's what it is. Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And she probably shares a bedroom. So,
Yeah, exactly.
or lives in the main, or her spots in the main room.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, so it was funny. But so we're gonna see, I guess, because she only had a couple scenes, and just that she basically when she looked at her sign up there, I thought that was a sign of her going, this is the right thing to do. I have to do this. I'm gonna go on
Yeah.
my own. So I
I
guess
mean,
we'll
that
see.
is the hardest thing to walk away and then have this new chapter where you don't know what's going to happen, right? I've done it many times.
You too.
We all
Yep.
have it in careers, in relationships, in
Yep.
friendships, in
Yep.
all aspects of life. You have those moments, you have those crossroads, you have that fork in the road where you're wondering, is this going to work out? Am I making the right decision? And sometimes you have to take that leap of faith. And that's what she did right then. It kind of sunk in where was it like a little elephant? Did she walk away with the little
Yeah, like I
baby?
think it was. Yeah, so yeah, and was it? It looked like an elephant, or I thought it was a panther at first, but I couldn't tell because it was green. It was like marble.
Yeah, it was like jade or something. So that's
Yeah,
why it was an
yeah,
elephant because elephant brings luck. So
yes,
I think it's an elephant, but maybe
I think so too.
correct me if I'm wrong.
They correct us
Uh,
if we're wrong.
but she was like, "Oh, I'll just pack up my stuff later." Like that's some boss moves to be like, I'm gonna leave my stuff here. I don't even need it.
And we hear she said she goes in storage temporarily.
Temporarily, exactly.
There's something she's setting herself up, I think, for success. I hope so. I really hope so. But that was all we have for her. It's like, okay, we're gonna get to her. So that's happening there.
I like
Um,
how it's a simmer. I feel like her storyline is a simmer. She had that
yeah,
big breakup in the first episode, and then what I liked is it shifted to her career path. Like it really focused on her. And I think her episodes are gonna come in like maybe the 6th or 7th
yeah,
episode. We're gonna really kind of see that boil, kind
yeah,
of that kind of steam up and get a little bit heated. And
yeah.
there always has to be drama in those new adventures. But I think we're dealing with all this stuff from Carrie and some of the other characters that I think she's in the back burner, but then she's gonna come forward.
Remember, she has the gardener.
Yeah.
That has to help. That's to come up later. That's to come up
I know
later.
that has to come up later. You know what I mean?
I know I said that. Oh my god!
You
And
did
just like
as
that,
you. And just like that,
just
went
like
inappropriate.
yeah. I know. I totally said.
And that's why we're the number one
That's
and top
right. After show for
Sesame
a
City
second.
after
Yes,
show because we
that is.
keep it
I
real.
did say. I did say
It's
it. Yeah,
honest and unhinged.
I walked right into it. I surely
You
did.
did. You walked
I
right
did.
into the city. You
Um,
walked right into it.
Speaking of that, what was it they call it? Sleep divorce? We got Lisa Todd Wexley, and that part actually was hilarious. So okay, so we know that her girl Gloria's gone to do that whole thing. So she has to hire somebody, and apparently she's been a few weeks. We saw what's going on, and she had a hard time. And this happens. There are guys named Marion. I actually know a guy named Marion. There are guys named Marion, like Carmine. Also, those are old school names.
Yeah. Well, Marion is actually a male name.
Right. Right.
It started as a male name and then it transitioned into a female, more popularized female name. So again, it's had different incarnations. So I wasn't surprised by it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was kind of cool they did that because they said then because what's more important is he's a dude, and she's doing this black female feminist documentary. So here's something that Emily May and I can always talk about because we work in the business. It's like, okay, can someone who's not directly that help you in whatever it is? It could be covering an event. You know about that for wrestling, covering an event.
Yeah.
Can Emily May cover an all male wrestling event? Like as good as a man, kind of like that. It was like this guy. That's basically
Yes
she was
and
doing
yes.
the reverse, right? She's doing the
Yeah.
reverse. Well, I know you can, but you know what I mean. It was like that was a legitimate thing with that with now and like for me, I'm in soaps, a man in soaps. Like we do a lot of stuff. Like what can a man
Mhm.
talk about soaps like women? So this thing was really it was an opposite thing. Can this first of all he was fine. Oh my god. He
Yeah,
walked through the door. I was
that's
like,
a secondary plot line. Let's
yeah.
just
And I was
then
like,
we're gonna get
yeah.
yeah.
We get back. I'll give it back. Give it back.
Focus.
Oof. All right, but
Mm.
no, but so she was having nightmares about it, and that's why the whole thing and her stuff. So anyway, let's talk about that because I thought it was very interesting that they brought that up. Actually,
Yeah, I mean, I think this is obviously something that we all struggle with in especially the entertainment industry, telling stories and making sure the right people are telling those stories. So I've worked with all women companies before where we're behind the scenes, we are on screen, and those are very specific stories that you can only tell because you're in that position. You are that person, you are that thing, right? And it really is kind of a decision the creators have to make. Obviously, this is her baby. This is her documentary. Um, and obviously he had a great response. He had a great perspective, but you have to realize you kind of have to have a person that is like that final check that can check creative, can check intention, can check the edit, can do all those things. You need that person that has the perspective and the experience to be like, hey, we can have someone else edit, we can have someone else work on this, but we need like boundaries and kind of guidelines. So I've been in different situations where um I don't, and I've declined, like, to be honest, I've declined certain gigs and certain jobs because I feel like, which is really hard to do in this life and in
uh,
this career, to turn things down because I don't feel like I'm the best voice for it.
for
You
sure.
know, or there's certain jobs where I'm like, oh, or companies where I'm like, I do not fit in that world, and that's okay. I find my other niche, my other place where I do fit in, and that's hard to know, but sometimes you do have to take a step back and be like, hey, I'm not the right voice for this. I can't give it the respect and due diligence it needs. Obviously, I would work hard and do all that, and
Yeah.
I would like work really hard, do my best, but if I'm not going to give an authentic, honest portrayal or, have that behind it, then it's not something that I'm going to take on. So like from my perspective,
Yeah.
that's
I
what
agree. No,
I
I've turned down a few jobs too, which this we don't want to turn down jobs, but I've done a few
know,
or
but
passed on to someone I thought was. I'll give an example. Actually, I'll use this is a great example of something once. So at FBS TV, I made a network of friends. Emily Mae's one of them. I made a network of friends, and so once we left, I came in touch with some people. That's what you have too. So sometimes something will come around on I always say on my desk, but it's my computer or tablet or whatever. Across my desk. And one was, so there's a show called This Is Us. I know everybody knows it. I love that show. That was my show.
are you ready to cry?
Friday every week. Friday every week. But Christy Metz was one of the stars of the show, was brought to me. And I could have done an interview with her. I could have done a great job and everything. But I was like, you know who I know? Her branding, my girl, Yale Tigo. She used to be at AfterBuzz. She's a bigger
Yes.
girl, she's a plus size girl who always that's her thing. And I'm like, you know what? I think the interview will be really good with her. And she's done it with me too. She sent me things too. So we sent each other. So I said, I have somebody totally in mind. So we gave it to Yale. It was a great interview. It was even better than I could have even done. She did more, like you said, did more justice. And I could have done fine, but I could have been fine. But they
Yeah.
did it more justice. And Yale sent me a little thing. She likes to like, thank you so much. And we do it to each other. We say each other people. And I
Yeah,
thought
and
that's exactly what you're talking about.
that's amazing. I mean, and I've had that happen too, where someone's handed an interview to me, handed a media junket or a red
Yes,
carpet where
yes.
they're like, hey, you know so much about this subject, or you know so much about this actor or this actress. You would be so much better at this. And I've been so grateful for those opportunities because you have to realize you have to think about being inside the room. You're not always in the room where those things happen, right? And so the fact that I'm on someone's mind or I come to mind when those opportunities happen, I'm very grateful. So again, I totally get that. It was a great thing for you to do, and I think we should be mindful of that in everything that we do in life. And I even think, even when you have normal everyday stuff, like got to fix your roof or you got to get your mechanic car thing, like everyone should think about being inclusive and making those right choices.
Totally agree. So that's my example. So in the end, she does hire. We find out. We don't see the scene, but she does hire. She said. But the funny part was because you're a partner. If you're a partner out there and you sleep in the same room in the same bed, as you know, whatever that partner's doing can keep you awake. That made me laugh when her was like, yeah, I would go, yes. She was like, yeah, hey, hey. Yeah. And when she told him, I moved to, she's like, no. She goes, if there's one more hey. I mean, I thought it was cute. It was very realistic because he stepped in the guest room because she was, and then she tried to stay awake the last part. I was laughing so hard.
No.
So she
So
couldn't wake up.
this is a very real situation.
Oh, I know it is.
So I am gonna be pretty open right
Oh,
now.
okay.
And
You are though. Come on, girl.
I talk in my sleep.
So you
So
do. Okay.
I was laughing about this. So
Okay.
I talk in my sleep, I sing in my sleep, and I dance in my sleep.
Oh my God. I love
So
it. I love it.
or I exercise. Sometimes
Hey,
I
okay.
do moves, right? I was like, that's I burn calories.
I'm trying to get it in. When you're asleep, we're busy.
Honestly, that's sometimes the only time I can get it in. No, but so my partner is very, you know him. He's very uh I mean, he doesn't snore.
Oh
We
wow.
both are very lucky. We don't snore, but we only snore when we're sick because we're all
Oh yeah.
congested. So
Yeah.
like the last few weeks I've been super snory. But he's used to me waking him up, doing some
Oh,
weird thing and then going back to sleep. He's just used to that. So we don't really sleep separately. Um the only thing is he's a furnace. So he is
that's me.
so
Yes.
hot and I feel him sweating and I hate that feeling.
Yes.
So
I
I'm
do.
like, ugh. So sometimes, especially in the summer, I get so hot and I go in our guest room. But not anything again. So this is a real situation again, whether it's snoring, talking,
Yes.
dancing, singing. Yeah, the stories that he could tell you, maybe I'll get him um on the podcast. He could tell you all the crazy stories. He was like,
There it
"What
is.
dream were you having?" And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, "You were talking
So
about
you don't
bubbles
remember.
and flying." So some of it I don't even remember half the time. More than half the time I don't remember. So he'll tell me like, "You were talking about bubbles and you were flying through the air." It's weird. I have very vivid dreams.
Well, I do too, but I just funny that I was like that you don't remember. I remember some. I usually remember
Yeah.
most of them.
There's some, so I remember like half the time,
Okay.
depending on if I'm in REM cycle or
Oh,
like where I'm in. Yeah, but about
Diane.
half the time I remember.
Love how you chat. 7 people watching. Hello, Gail and Diane. Thank you guys. You were here last week. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a real thing, folks.
Wait, can
So
we go back to how
yeah,
hot that guy was, Marion?
we can. We always can. Girl, we always can.
I was like, we skipped one of the
Yes.
most important parts
Oh
of
yeah.
that storyline is how hot he is. And he's so intelligent.
He walked in with that
And
short
I
sleeve.
know, ooh, that mesh little green shirt.
Yes, the green looked good on him. I was like, and he had a little earring or something dangling somewhere. I was like, oh, okay. And he was just like that big
You think
smile. He was
this
like,
is her? Do you think there's going to be some issues
I don't know. See, I'm not sure because they didn't play it that way though.
there? They didn't play it that way. Do you think we think it might go that way? Or
This show it could, but I'm just saying it's really interesting. They didn't play. They played it more of that he's a man,
yeah, yeah.
the business. It was like she had no side conversation with Charlotte or anything saying
Yeah,
it's got
saying,
time.
hey,
But it could happen next episode, right? Like you said, it could come up.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's an editor, you're in a dark room, there's late
right.
nights.
Or maybe he's for Sema. Maybe all these dudes are coming around and they're
Maybe.
ready for her
Exactly. Maybe there's gonna be a whole love triangle with Sema.
or something. Just like they're here for her to kind of sample through. I mean, I don't know.
Sample through. Sample through. Yeah. A little
I'd
taste
sample
over
both.
there, a
I
little
sample
taste
both of
over
them.
there.
I sample both of them. Shit, I love gardening and I love editing. I'll do both. I'll sample both. Fire with me.
You're gonna have someone editing your garden. That's what's gonna
But
happen.
they should have in my garden. It's been a while. But no, that's the thing. Is like I think they didn't play it that way. But this show, you never know. They could.
Never know. Like when he walked in, I literally because I am always thinking like the worst, right? Where I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be an issue. I was like, ooh, that might be an issue. But
Yes.
you're right that they played it very professional, that she was
Yeah, he
impressed
did.
by his resume
Yeah.
and the way that he spoke about the project. But I don't know. Again,
I
you
know.
can
They could be close together late at night. Something could
I'm
happen.
telling you, those dark rooms at a TV
Right.
studio.
Right. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. They didn't play that, but you're right. On this show, anything is possible. That's just kind of just expect and expect. I feel like a big brother. Expect and expected. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, exactly. But first, no. If you're a Big Brother fan, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, he's hot. They picked the right man. He's there. Okay, so the next, I'm trying to think who's next in line because the Charlotte Harry stuff is really big this episode. So Charlotte Harry,
Yes.
okay. So Miranda, that was hilarious. That one was,
This was another relatable moment for me.
me too. No, me too. We're hosts. We say things, especially on live TV. I have stepped my foot in it a couple of times. I have, and I was a meme a couple of times. We have this a guy named Dylan who always makes memes of a lot of us. You might know him
Yes,
too.
Dylan, yeah.
I've been a meme a couple of times through him. Shout out to Dylan Matthews. So yeah, this whole cunt, excuse my language, that's what it is. And they kept saying it over and over again, different ways, because she was saying country, but she did a pause in the
A
wrong spot,
pause,
which I've
yeah.
done before. I've done before.
Yeah. She said wild country, and then they took it out of context and made
Oh,
a
hilarious.
meme.
We
And let me
saw
tell you,
Brady.
yeah. And I was like, that would be all over TikTok
Oh
because it
yeah.
was BBC. It's a huge platform, a huge news
Yes.
organization. And I literally had flashbacks to so many moments of me flubbing my
Me
line,
too.
the lines I'm supposed to say,
Me too.
totally off, totally messed up, or completely the deer in the headlights, where I'm like, I wait, what? I forgot. And then you're live on TV and you just have to keep going and you figure it out. So I've been there. So I was mortified for her. And I've been a meme too. I have so many memes that circulate
Me too.
with like my doughy eyes, they put little words on it and then replay the clip over and over again. I've been there. I've been
Yes.
there
I've been there
in the
too. I've
same
been there too.
shoes as Miranda.
So have I. So have I. I've had the oh my god, now you remember one time at Must TV, they did a thing where you did a cold open, they call it. So you say like, this edition of blah blah blah. We're
Mhm.
gonna talk about this, and I've seen you've done it. You've been a lead on the show. I've seen you done it. I've seen you done it. I've seen you done it. No, I've seen you do it on your shows too, and I've done it too. And then they go, we'll be back. They're going to come up next, and then they'll go to whatever, and they come back. I remember once I was ready. I mean, I had notes. I don't know what happened, but they're like 3, 2, 1. I was like, I'm James Lott Jr. We'll see you next. And I did that in his cutaway because I totally forgot. I went blank on my cold because sometimes I didn't write them down, the cold opens. I was just like, I can think of something. Man, I just don't think of it. That was a challenge, right? I'll think of something funny. We can get in there. And most of the time, I was fine. But there were a couple times I was like, what show is this? I remember once I was like, welcome to Days. I mean, General Hospital After Show. We'll be back next.
I've
And then
I've
James.
I've called people the wrong name. I've
Oh,
called it the wrong show. I've been like, where am I? The wrong city. Like you hear
yep. Yeah,
artists at a concert, and because they travel so often, they like name the wrong city that they're in. It's like it happens.
it happens.
We're all
It totally
human,
happens.
right? We all make mistakes. But I was so proud of Miranda because she started off that segment doing so well, and I was like, oh, she's
Wow.
gonna do it. And then she started going faster and faster and not breathing, and I'm like, oh no, because I've done that. I always have to like right before remember breathe, breathe, breathe because you
Yes.
forget, and you go super fast
Yes. Well,
unintentionally.
our friend Full of Boys, friend of the show, and of ours, we both talk fast. And so we always talk about how I remember I tell myself, okay, James, when I'm doing a live read or something, or I'm at the Emmys, when I'm doing an introduction, I'm like, James, just pace yourself. Like just talk at a certain pace. And I can do it. Well, like I've done it now for like 20 years. Like I can do it. But there's times I may go too fast and I stumble past words, or people go, what did you just say? What did he say? And that's a very East Coast thing. And that's why I thought I'm New Yorker. So that's a very East Coast. You talk fast, you talk loud, you talk fast, get it out there. So I've been learning, like you said, to kind of, okay, before I start, take a deep breath. It is all in the breathing. She's right. It's all in the breathing. Just go, okay. Hi, I'm James Lott Jr. and welcome to the daytime. And then you just go on and you're fine. So
Yeah, and I work with a lot of international companies too, and I've learned how to slow down and just realize that I'm talking faster than people can understand and they're interpreting in their head. So I have to like be respectful and also just slow down my pace. So I've like right now we're talking really fast and then sometimes depending on the company I'm working for, I talk a little bit slower and I'm more methodical. Like I think about it a little bit more than
yeah.
I would, in this situation.
So we saw Brady.
Oh,
working
he
at
did.
Scout, working at Scout. When we asked about him, he working at Scout, and he was hilarious. That was funny.
He's so tall and big now.
Yeah, a big fro, big red fro. I love it. He's wearing a Scout shirt. I want one of those shirts. And it was fun to see him make fun of his mother, and she's just Miranda freaking out is hilarious. Then there's this whole thing about this British because of oh my god, what homegirls? I'm like, what am I got homegirl's name? Joy. So remember that easily. Because Carrie gives her an idea because she's like, I think she's not looking at me now because of the meme thing, and she's like, well, just invite him over to the house. And so, folks, I want to tell you guys. So, because my friends was like, they keep calling it the Gramercy and Gramercy Park. What is that? So I want to tell you guys a little bit of something. And she can back me up on this. So actually, I stayed at Gramercy Park the last time I was in New York in December, January. That's where my hotel was. It's on the east side, kind of like the middle of the city. It's like it's not all the way downtown. It's not all the way uptown. It's past Chelsea, like there's like the Village, Chelsea. There's like Gramercy Park. I want to say like in the 20s and 30s. Um, Second through Lexington through Fifth Avenue, Sixth Avenue. It's around that whole area. It's a cute area. It's a part industrial, part homes. But it's I always say it's like in the middle east of the city. It's like it's not super uptown and not all the way downtown, but it's like easy to get around from. So cute place she has there. So that's what she calls the Gramercy, folks. That's part of the city. That's the every like most big cities, they have little areas. They call them certain things. So that's I just want to get that out. So it's about just about Midtown, Then you have the Flatiron District. They like some things, but that's basically that's where that is. I like that area actually.
It's a really nice area. There's some great, beautiful historical homes over there.
Yeah, I've stayed there. I was there. That's why I stayed. So I was like, oh yeah, I like it over here. I like it everywhere. I love it. And so that's what I was thinking. But okay, so so Miranda she finally gets the courage after they all hilariously mock her, but they mock the house because there's no furniture in it, which we'll talk about in a second with Carrie's storyline. They're looking for gin. They're all having good laughs. I mean, I just love the banter. All those actors did such a great job. They're like friends. They seem like friends who work together, just bagging like you can do with your friend bagging.
So Joy's friends come from the bar and hang out with Miranda after. And Miranda worked herself into a frenzy, worried that Joy doesn't want to see her because of this meme. And that was not the case.
Oh, and they kissed at the end at the door. And I love that because we have a ring thing too. So the thing went off and Carrie saw it. I was laughing. I was like, okay.
I know. I love how she did a little nod of approval.
She's like, good. Okay. They are cute together. Two redheads, whatever. So cute together. I like this. So I thought it was kind of cool that they gave Miranda at least some kind of happy something for a moment. We'll see how that goes. But I said both. This has been interesting. Miranda's on an interesting journey this season, and I don't know if Joy's going to be it or not. But I'm excited to see where she goes.
This was a kind of I like how they're reiterating that Miranda is going through the program. Because she always says oh, we'll have mocktails or we'll have this, we'll have wine and that, so I like how they keep reiterating that because it shows the difference between season 1, season 2, and then now. So it's showing that difference, that she's going through that journey, she's taking it seriously. Because they do say, isn't it a year? You're not supposed to be in a relationship for a year.
A year, yeah.
For a year until you go through the full program.
Yeah.
So that's why Miranda has to focus on herself. But I like Joy, so
Me too. I like her. I like them together. So
I feel like she is very much, she's a professional. She's up there, super smart, kind of at that intelligence level that Miranda has. And I feel like she's super level-headed, so I think that's going to help mellow Miranda out.
They're more equals.
Yeah.
I think they're more equals. And they're in the same business, kind of. So I think it'll be good. It'll be really good. So go Miranda. Now, this next storyline, which I just surprised how big it was, and actually who it focused on, and it was hilarious at the same time. Harry and family, we'll say that. We meet Pop Pop.
Pop Pop.
And he was hilarious. The actor was hilarious. He was total New York Jew. Totally New York Jew. Love it so much. Wasn't he? He was totally was.
Yeah.
outspoken, say whatever he
Oh
wants,
my
kind
God.
of funny.
You're like Pop Pop, you can't say that.
And I love it. I love it. I was like, Pop Up, say it more. Say it more. It was like hilarious. I love how him and Rock got along great too. He was just like, what's
Mhm.
that? What's going on? And but anyways, we'll get to that part. But so he was saying his father's in town. We're like, oh, okay, we get to meet one of Harry's family. I'm trying to think, have we met any of Harry's families before? No.
What about at the wedding? Did we see glimpses?
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's been a long time. We're gonna have to go back and check, but I don't
Yeah.
think we've seen
I personally met his mother and
personally met
father.
them
No.
in this capacity. No, I don't think so.
We never met her parents either.
Yeah, Charlotte, no.
We know Miranda's mother from that episode. But we never met any of their parents. That's what's so funny. Think about it. None of them. Not Samantha's, not Carrie. Carrie talked about her father a couple of times. I showed a picture once.
Well, and
But that
Miranda's
was
mom
it.
died in I forget what
That one.
season, but she passed away.
It was called My Motherboard, Myself. I'll never
Oh,
forget that
that's
episode. That's when
heartbreaking
Carrie's segment
episode.
out. That episode was so when Samantha finally breaks down. Oh
Oh. Yeah,
my
you're
God.
right. We don't see parents. We hear them referenced. Um,
You
but
met Charlotte's brother.
do you meet all of your friends' parents
So I think at this point,
in real life?
it was really weird. In most cases, yes. If I when I was in San Francisco, I was a transplant. Well, my mother did come to town, so they all met her.
That's okay.
Other friends who were there, their parents lived nearby, so they were like, "Yes, I
Mm,
actually." Or if they came to visit, chances are we all went to dinner at some point together. If I was
yeah.
on closeness,
Yeah. So
my circle, yeah. But
yeah, I
think
would
about it.
say my core circle of friends, I would say because we've been friends for so long,
Yes, me too.
since high school or even
Yeah,
beyond,
yeah,
I'm very close with all their parents.
yeah,
And like and I've met them, we've had sleepovers, we've done all that.
yeah,
So I guess it is true that you do meet your friends' parents.
yeah. I
Um,
do want. For
yeah.
me, is most of my sets are from my first sets from the late '80s. I would say mid '90s. We have a bunch of us who know each other 30 years. So it's like seven of us. I knew or know their because some of the parents have passed at this point, but I knew or know their parents. We did at least the mothers. Now, at the very least, at least one of the parents for sure. So yes, we just know because we've been through each other's like births, deaths, marriages, divorces. We have a bunch, a bunch of things. So birthday parties. So I think yeah. So yeah, my close core, yes. Um, but there's a little storyline that made me laugh too in there. Marilyn and 10F. It was funny to see Harry so bothered by her. And Rock's trying to do this whole thing about, gonna be community, and I love it. And everything. First, here's Pop Pop's, tablet, which we get to that later. This was funny. And I mean, that's totally crazy. It's like, you fix it for him, whatever. But she's like, well, we community. I can look up stuff and they can help you out. It's like, my dad, and the way you view your parents, that's part of that, right? He's old, he's feeble, like he's just wandering the streets, whatever. It's like, and then this other old lady wants a banana. The whole thing with the banana,
That's a
just
metaphor, right?
right, clearly, we found out later. But that's
What's funny
hilarious
is
now.
I feel like Charlotte would be the one she's super type A, that she's
Right.
the one like, I'm not giving the banana away. Why is this neighbor bothering me? I feel like she would be the one against it, but Harry was. So I found that
Yeah.
interesting.
Me too. As I said, we got to focus on Harry just being so every time she's like dropping it. It was hilarious. So they have the family dinner, which was even more hilarious. We had everybody there. You had Anthony and Giuseppe. The Anthony parts were kind of funny. It was like young man goes, well, you're looking at me. I'm asking the one over there. It's really young or whatever. And then he's like, he's Polly. And he goes, Rock, what is that? Like that.
What's
And
that? Yeah.
then and she explains, like, blah, blah. She goes, oh, my day, if you're a male ballerina, you were gay. And I remember Allie goes, me too. And they laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
Um, they
But I
said
love
probably
how
want more
open
brisket. That made me
Yeah,
laugh
I love how
also.
open Pop Pop is. Pop
Oh
Pop's like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay." Like,
yeah.
super cool about it. Because not everyone from that generation is gonna be as open or
No.
understand, right? So I loved how it was just like, okay, it was just a good
And
explanation and
Marilyn wanted leftovers. She wanted Tupperware. I mean, Harry was over her. I couldn't stop laughing.
do
Um,
you ever have neighbors like this.
No, by my own family. I don't have any neighbors.
And I have
I don't
family,
have
that's true. I have
family.
family and friends who are like bring their own Tupperware and are like
Yeah.
ready. They're like
Right.
they barely eat the meal, but then they bring a million things
Yes.
home. And I'm
Yes.
like, why didn't you eat while you were here?
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, easily. Oh, easily. And my grandmother, at her last place where she lived, all the old ladies, and I call them old ladies, they're old ladies, they all talk to each other. They're on different floors. They're just all in each other's business. Um, so
So
yeah,
much gossip.
totally. Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, I go to any of their purses and pull out shit. I'm sure. Pull out, hot sauce and sugar and can. I mean, all in their purses, all in their purses. I'm sure. It's very New York. But I thought that was just, he was so bothered. It was just so funny. But he gets so he learns some stuff. So Pedro is basically, well, I'm claiming bisexual, but he's saying poly. But he likes guys and girls. And Homegrown knows, and Lily knows that. So I guess Lily, we're seeing, is she okay with it? We don't know yet, but she's okay, I guess. Rock's doing his own thing. But then the math didn't really talk about just in that one scene there. And eventually, the banana was a metaphor. Emily May is right. It was a metaphor because then we got the Sex and the City with the sex when Harry tried to get it in, and it was a soft banana. Yeah.
It happens. It's a normal part of life.
I know it is. But you know what's so funny? And I will say this. I'm going to share a little bit. Here's what's funny. So I'm almost 60. I'm almost 60 years old. I know I look great. I'm 60. But I know where he's coming from for men. Men have two sensitive areas, literally.
Break it down for us. Break it down.
Literally, hair. Men, when they lose hair, oh my god, they go crazy. So I don't have to worry about that. Neither does your man. I don't worry about that. But down here, and if you're listening to us, I'm pointing to my crotchal area. That's a sensitive spot too. And we have to normalize. I'm glad Charlotte was so sweet about it.
Yeah.
We have to normalize that, testosterone levels change. Like women go through different things too, right? But it seems like they say women get hotter as they get older. It's a weird thing, right? They get much more. They say they get much more like ready for it. And that's why he said the cougar situation happens because the older women are ready. They know what they want, they're ready to go. But then men, we're fighting the whole gravity situation, and it's kind of like,
we are too.
oh yeah, no, I know,
are too.
Yes, I'm sure, but we can't pretend nothing if it don't rise to the occasion.
Well, yes,
then it's a problem for everybody.
that is true.
Yeah, so that's why I think we can't really fake that part. So I understood the whole thing about not want to be your father. There's several themes here. Not want to be your father, getting older because you just are, and just changing levels in you. It's like you're not going to be amazing every time. That's not realistic.
Well, and I like how so I love that exchange between Charlotte and Harry because she was super sensitive to his feelings
Yes.
because she's going through changes too. She's going again, she's um going to go through menopause. She's going to have hormonal changes. She's going to have changes down in her sensitive areas as well. There are a lot of changes that you go through. And what I like is she was super sensitive about it. They didn't, so I know there's like, so in the original episodes of Sex in the City, if any of this happened, they would go to the next scene and it would be all the girls talking about it over brunch, right? And I loved how they kept this intimate. They kept it like an intimate conversation between the stable couple in the show. And it shows that they can talk about anything and that they will love each other past that physical attraction. And I think that was kind of an important moment in the like creativity of the show and like the pattern of the show is that they're breaking those patterns. Like they weren't going and making fun of Harry later because if you look back at the original series, they would make fun of guys if they did weird things during sex, right? And here, it's a very sensitive topic. They handled it delicately. And I like that part of it.
I agree. One of the things that he said, he has this line I wrote down. I thought it was a very cool line. He said, "If we are not having sex, then are Harry and Charlotte still in love?"
Still, yeah.
And they talk about it. And she's like, "No, I will love you to the end of time." Basically, she's saying, and they really reaffirm their love right there in bed. And that is again just a realistic thing. As you're getting, oh, they're really doing a good job about this part. It's like realistic. There was no joking. There was no. It was like she was like, no. It was a very serious moment.
Yeah, it was super serious, and I like how they kept it serious. I mean, they had like it really was a serious moment. There wasn't any like brushing each other's feelings off,
Right.
dismissing. There was no dismissiveness, and I really liked that. So this scene, so I listened to Charlotte doing, I think it was like a variety interview or something recently about this new season, and one of the questions she was posed was whether uh Charlotte and Harry are going to make it in this new season and in the and in the subsequent seasons if they're still going to be a thing. And she talked about the creative process working with the director and the writer and the creators saying, hey, like this is the stable character, the stable couple in the show, it's the through line. And Kristen talked about how she likes to she makes sure she checks the script to make sure that it is all going to be good moving forward. And I think she obviously, she didn't say this explicitly, but I think she wouldn't sign on to do it if they did break up because it really would ruin the core relationship and those lessons that they've learned along the way.
Well, I think part of it is also because remember when he started out, he was the Harry on the literally Harry on his back, bald.
Mm-hmm.
It was not because Trey.
It
Remember,
was
Trey
not
was
love
the
at first sight.
Trey.
Yeah.
Right, Trey was her what she's always wanted. He couldn't get up, so there was also that like literally broke her whole stereotype. So when she met
Yeah.
Harry, he was sweaty and all stuff, and so
Gross,
I
like
always feel like
food. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's supposed to. I think they're supposed to make it. That's the whole point. They're the opposites attract, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. There's all kind of we know that, that it works. So I thought so they have to stay. They have to stay together. They just have to. I just feel like they're the ones who are going to grow old together. They love each other because they came so opposite. What can tear them apart? Like what?
I mean, they're already opposite, like, and then they learned and grew together.
Right.
And um and it goes back. So remember Charlotte brought all those like things she didn't like to the table at the brunch table or the dinner table, whatever, to the
Yes.
girls. Like she brought it, she shared all these issues she's had, and then now she doesn't
No.
because it's that perfect little pair and they don't do that strategy anymore of like
Nope.
making fun of these guys.
Nope. They don't. I know you're right. They're growing. Girls are growing up.
They're growing up.
Yeah. So then Rock comes in and was like, it's Pornhub on Pop Pop. I laughed. So I did not expect that. So I started laughing.
Go
And
Papa.
they're like, oh, he's not home. He was up to 10F. And he's like, oh, not a like what do you say, not a soggy banana or some kind of he said some kind of joke like no, not a soft banana. I thought that was funny. And they were like, oh my God, he went upstairs. So it was cute. It was a cute little ending to it all, but it was a really serious storyline for them. I mean, I thought good because we kept saying they're always giving shot at the crazy ones. She didn't
Yeah,
get crazy
ramp
this
it
time.
up a little bit. Now we're getting to the juicy part of what's going on with them.
Yes, we are. Okay, the main event, kids. 42 minutes. We've been on 42 minutes. That's crazy. They're by fast.
Dang. Okay.
Here
Hang
is
in
the
there,
main
fans.
event,
Hang in there,
folks.
fans.
Yeah, everybody's in chat. Hi, Gail. Hi, Diane. Hi, Duan. And hi, other folks who are watching or not in the chat. Come in the chat. It's fine. You can say hi or just, talk to each other. It's a good time. Hit the like button while you're here. Subscribe. If you're new, subscribe. Thank you. Okay. So this was really interesting too. And you and I both said off camera, and maybe at home, I feel so far this is my favorite episode of the season.
It
But you
is
said the same thing
so far, it is my favorite episode.
so far. What they managed to do, we picked up where we left off in Virginia, and it went a whole different direction. I had no idea where it was going to go, but it went a whole different direction that I thought it would go. We saw Tate. Remember, he was a baby. We saw him in the original series. Little Tate, when he turns around, that was the baby. He's 21 now. That's crazy to me. Tater, he called him Tater Tot back then too. I was like, oh my God, that's him.
That's
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. He's an adult.
Wait, is it the same actor?
Oh no, folks. That's a good question. I don't know. But
I doubt it is.
I doubt it is too.
But that
But
would
I
be,
don't know Brady is nothing from when a kid, but I don't think he is. But just thinking though, when she turns around and sees him later,
I forgot they had that moment
remember? And it's like he he had a baby on him, or he had a baby on him.
on him, and they had that moment, and it was like, whoa.
He goes, I have a baby. She goes, I have a date. Remember that? He goes, I have a date. And he goes, I have a baby. He goes, I have a date. And she's like awkward. But that was Tater Tot. So he's 21. It's his birthday. But here's the thing. So she wakes up in the guest house. It's I mean, all these chickens that made me laugh. Her in that dress. I forgot that she had no clothes. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I
She
forgot
left
about
it
that.
in the other car.
She didn't get it. She goes,
She
so
had
she was weird. She
nothing.
did. Yeah, so that part's funny. So Homer, the one son, likes her. Seems like he's like
Yeah.
he's cool with her. Give her a hug and everything. Funny stuff about the whole smell. I know that whole trip smell. I've done it before too. When you have a long trip and you haven't taken a shower yet, I know that. When she was gone, I
You're
said, I
like, stay
understand.
away, stay away.
Yeah, stay away. I totally get it. And they're he's trying to paint. Trying to get the boys, him and Wyatt to paint. Wyatt's just like a regular teenager, like, hi girl, whatever. He's not into her, whatever. He doesn't want to paint. He doesn't want to paint at all. And so it's just kind of like, okay, it's starting out okay. And he's like, let's have breakfast. And they go into the main house, and I'm like, this is it. I'm like, okay, it's go. I was like, something has to happen though. But it
Oh
was like
yeah.
it was
I
going a
was
little
like,
too
this
good.
is too close.
Yeah, it's getting a little too good. But they're having a good
Yeah.
time, and but she needs some clothes. So he goes, first she said, "Where's the Target?" Goes, you probably thought you would never say that. She goes, my favorite suits from Target. But then he goes, do you have any local place I can walk to? It's very New York, very New York. You would never say that in LA. You would never say in LA. Is there a place I can walk to? No, you get in the car. So there's a place down the road called Daisy's, whatever. So she takes an ATV, hilarious. She
I
was
was
going
laughing
so
so hard.
slow.
Like, I cannot see her riding one.
No, she did it. She did it. And it's just going. So they're like, "Go, Carrie!" They're like, "Go, Carrie!" I was laughing. It was so funny. She's like,
That was so cute.
it was cute. The place was hilarious. Oh my god! And that Little House on the Prairie dress she got, everybody was making fun of her. It was
Oh
hilarious.
my God. And she walked in and said, with the dress, she said, Little House on the Carry.
Carrie.
Oh my God. Do you remember reading Little House on the Prairie? Did you read Little
Yeah.
House
Oh
on
yeah.
the
I
Prairie?
did. Yeah.
And then they had the show. Oh my gosh. I remember making the little wagon. You had to make the little
Oh,
wagon,
cute. We didn't make
the little
that yet.
horse and the people. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. Little House on the Prairie was my show, and now I know Michael Landon Jr. It's kind of funny. I know him real. I work with him. I work
Oh,
So no, but it was just kind of she had to go there when she was talking to Miranda while she was there and stuff. But it was just kind of funny. She was like, everything was so daisy and bright,
not
and
gonna lie. I love the look on her. I love the dresses on her.
it
Not
was
gonna lie, it's
interesting.
a little bit different, a little
Yeah.
summery, a little more farm girly, but I liked it.
Diane C, who was our number one fan today, apparently it's number one.
Yes.
This episode had me feeling all the feels, comedy and then serious family drama. I had to bring out the tissue at the end when Carrie realized Aiden was going. Yeah, we're going. Yeah, we're getting there, right?
We're gonna get to
So,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
but no, yeah, we agree. We agree with you. The episode was good. Like I totally hit all the marks. We agree with you on that. So they're like, there's a birthday party coming, and but before that, she's like, you should stay with the boys. I'll go do something else, and I'm doing air quotes, folks, and you go with the boys. So they go fishing, which is interesting. You have to like fishing, folks. You can't just do fishing.
I've tried fishing. It's not for me.
I've never done it yet, so I don't know yet if I like it or not.
Yeah, no, it's not for me at all.
Well, it wasn't for Wyatt either. Wyatt was not feeling
I
it.
agree. I
You
agree.
agree. But
The
the
one
fun
thing
part,
I agree with Wyatt on this episode, the fishing.
well, it's kind of funny. He wanted to do the VR fight zombies. At first, Aiden got mad at first, and he was like, "We're not going without me." Then they had a good time, and then he bumped into her. I think it was an accident. I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was an accident. I think, but she said something. I don't know if you caught it, Emily, man. You probably did. You're pretty good. When she was goes, he's like, "Well, it's okay. I don't want to make him feel bad." And she goes, "Well, now I can't touch my head. I feel like I can't touch my head because he hurt her head." It was quick. He diffused it really fast. He kissed her on the head and was like, "It's okay." But I heard that in there. Did you hear that? I heard
I
that.
did hear that, and I was like, oh, it is like that's such a sensitive thing for Carrie to think about. Is if think about it, if say, um you're a pitcher, right? I've been watching baseball. If you're a pitcher, you throw a ball, you hit a player, and you're gonna like rub your arm because you kept getting hit. Everyone's gonna be worried about you. You're getting the attention because you're like, oh my God, my arm hurts, right? I got hit by a baseball. So
Right.
Carrie is trying to be sensitive, which I
Right.
appreciate, and saying, hey, like, I can't hold my head. And Aiden gave her like a nice little kiss. I can't hold my head. I can't like show that I'm injured because it's gonna upset him.
Right.
Which, so I have mixed feelings about. I like how
Right.
Carrie was sensitive towards his feelings, but also he's a kid that's old enough to be like, oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, he said I
And
did it on purpose, but see, I think it was Aiden was overcompensating.
oh, you think
As a
Aiden
parent,
was?
I am a parent, so I was like, I think he's overcompensating for Wyatt. And they tried to play it
Overcompensating
off
in
really
that
quick.
moment or the whole situation?
That too. Yeah, we'll get to that. It's been Aiden the whole time, right? But I said,
Yeah.
but at that moment, it was like he tried to diffuse it. He's like, he doesn't want Wyatt to go off, which we see later he does. I
Yeah.
think it's a parent thing. He was just kind of like, oh, let's just like let's make it serious. And like when I have my kids were little, and they
Hmm.
couldn't express themselves except through yelling or crying. When they're until like 4 or 5, they really can't express themselves fully. You're like, okay, they bump. Oh, you're okay. You just bumped your head. You're fine. You talk to
Yeah.
overcompensate. I
So
feel like
that is, yeah, that is a thing I'm learning from my nephews,
okay,
that if they fall, they hit, they knock something over, you don't react.
no,
Don't react
no,
because then they know it's okay. No one's
yes,
really injured, no one's bleeding,
right,
everyone's fine.
right,
So that's a thing when you see like a toddler fall and they really start crying because you reacted because
yes,
you're worried, you made the shocked face, and so
yes,
they see you, they know they can get attention, and that
yes,
is a psychological thing. So obviously there are real injuries that happen, and so I'm not saying it's
right,
every,
right,
all the time, but um it is one of those things that it is that psychological reaction. The kid sees, wait, you're up, you're hurt, or you're reacting like I'm hurt, so I have to react like over the top, cry, have a tantrum. And so I think you're right that that's what Aiden was trying to do, is avoid that situation.
yeah, I think so too. So it's kind of like okay, but I caught that little thing. She's like, I feel like I can't. So anyway, so then we get back to the house. So Tate's coming, birthday. You got to stay. Okay, I will stay. That was kind of cool. You say you stay. Then it happens. The birthday for that whole sequence of scenes. We meet Bob,
Yes,
the ex-wife Kelly's boyfriend. 4 years have been together.
a long time.
We'll get that in a second too. So yeah, we meet him. We meet Tate. He has a beer in his hand. He has beers in his hands. All kind of stuff's kind of funny because early in the episode, Wyatt says something about that. He goes, "We're always hiding the beers." So are people? Does it mean in terms of himself? They don't want him to drink. Like, what's going on? It's a whole. It was like I liked it because it was like real life. There's always simmering
There's so
thing.
much drama, so much
Yes,
little subtle like clues to
yes,
what this life with Aiden and his kids are like. And that's
yes,
what it was like. I was looking for all these little clues. And I think Carrie was too. She was kind of watching and just observing.
yes.
Because if you look at the episode, she didn't have that much dialogue in
No,
those scenes with
no,
Aiden
she didn't.
and her family. It was
No.
mostly all of them. Like she was an observer
Yes,
and
yes.
she was looking in. And I think that goes back to that scene with Bob, right? Bob, where he's like, oh, it's been 4 years and I finally got in.
I know. He said that. He
And
said
that
that.
shows you
But he
how
said,
hard.
I don't share my opinion. I don't have an opinion. He said that
Exactly.
too. Oh
Hmm.
wow. But he said she was like listening to him and I have an opinion, blah blah. And it's a shame because Aiden didn't want him on those pills. And that's what she learned that part. Remember, you and I said that.
I
Columbus
was
was
like,
going
there's
to go
something
something.
up with it.
When he took the pills, he had a face. He had a face. So what I love is Carrie went and confronted him right away. Maybe in the wrong time, but she went right away.
So it was the wrong time to do that. You do that later,
Yeah.
especially not when he's
Yeah,
like
right,
cutting
yeah,
his birthday cake and everyone's still there. But I did appreciate this from Carrie because remember we talked about last episode the communication, that she's talking about her feelings, how she's feeling, issues right away. She's not
yes,
waiting,
yes,
right?
yes,
And I
yes.
love this where she went directly, obviously wrong time,
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
fact that she went and said, "Hey, I
I
didn't know
agree.
these pills were going to be a big deal."
Yeah, I agree. He's like the
And that
wrong time.
shows she's grown.
Yeah, she's grown. So I did my like you. I'm like, that was good. Wrong time, but that's good
Yeah,
because
read
she
the
would
room
have.
a little bit better, Carrie.
Yeah.
Read the room.
Well, she's learning. She's learning. I guess it's
Yeah.
new. So they see how your birthday and the whole thing, and they're playing apples to apples, which is the name of the episode, of course. And like Diane C just said in the chat, it was interesting to see how each family member felt about Wyatt's situation.
Mhm.
Um,
Like, they
and
all
Bob wasn't
reacted a
playing.
little bit different.
Yeah, and Bob wasn't playing the game. He
Mm-mm.
never plays. He said he never plays the game.
And that's interesting. And I honestly think it's because Wyatt would have a bad reaction because
Yeah,
he's
I
an
do too.
outsider and he doesn't like the divorce, he doesn't like the change, he doesn't like new people. And that definitely fits that type of diagnosis, right? You don't like change, you like structure, like it needs to, you're obsessed with certain things.
Yes,
And what I found interesting is that apples to apples. So what was interesting is seeing the brothers treat Wyatt differently. Each person treated the situation differently, and you can see obviously it exploded into this situation.
yes.
And I think
Well, one
Aiden
of brother.
is
Sorry, go ahead.
babying him way too much.
Yes,
Is
that's what
babying
it
him
is.
way too much. His ex-wife wants to take a different approach. They obviously don't agree on that co-parenting style and direction.
Right.
And even also it's hard on the brothers too, to have this
Yes.
brother that's like taking all of the attention away.
And they said that. One of the brothers said, they give you everything. Well, because first his whole thing was like, nobody's picking me. And because Carrie got, because the whole he picked it, he got Carrie, got whatever. And he goes, well, I thought next time your turn. And it was getting upset. He was just getting so upset. And they're like, no, one of the brothers said, they always pick you. Like that meant real life. And then one brother was like, oh, my parents got divorced. I'm upset. Like every brother, they all had something different. You're right. They all said stuff. I thought it was a great episode because they're all showing you, and we told this before, you grew up in the same household, my siblings and I have different views on stuff.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And you have different reactions for, like, the older brother is going to probably have feel a little different because he probably was out of the house more. He wasn't around as much. But then also the parents obviously are fighting, Aiden and his ex-wife. And then obviously those outsiders, Carrie and Bob, they're gonna have a whole different perspective of like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
He
And I
said,
think,
I don't need Bob to know how to
mm-hmm,
raise my family. That's
yeah,
so too. And she goes, what the fuck? And she goes, oh, it's your family? There's a whole thing there. And when Wyatt exploded, and like,
yes,
but you're right, Carrie sat there. They kept showing her she didn't talk.
she
It
didn't
was
talk.
not her place to talk.
No,
She sat
and
like we say the same thing. She just
go ahead.
watched
Sorry,
it. She
sorry.
looked at everything. She looked at everything. She was like, "This is happening," and she didn't. And it didn't look. And she's maturing because I didn't get a sense that she wanted to flee, which the old Carrie would have.
Hmm.
I felt like she was taking it all in and
Well,
finally understanding it.
would you have run away after the window was shattered?
I don't know. I mean, I've been in some family situations, so I don't know. I would have been. I would have been. That was shocking, and I jumped when they did. I probably would have jumped in real life too. But I
Yeah.
would have stayed there. I would have been there. I would want to know. I would want to see this through. I've been in situations. I have been in
Yeah,
situations.
I mean, I have too, and I would stay because obviously I
Yeah,
would want to check in on Aiden, and
yeah,
obviously Wyatt went and ran away, and they were trying to deal with it. And
yeah,
if you care about your partner, you
yeah.
stay
You
and
stay.
make sure everything's okay. But it is
Well,
a scary situation, and it's an uncomfortable situation,
um,
and they're gonna have to figure out obviously a path forward.
well, here's the thing, girl. I want your opinion on this. When they're driving off, she says, "How are you? How are you?" He's like, "I need to swim for real." Because so, folks, the joke was when they had sex, she was taking a nap and he was going for a swim.
Yeah,
Funny. But he said,
yeah.
"This I really, because I need to take a swim for real." And he walks off to the lake, and she's standing there, but she didn't look upset. She was kind of like, "Okay." I feel like she was. So I wanted your opinion on that part. It was kind of that was very interesting.
I think she's finally, and like she does explain it near the end of the episode when they're having that heart to heart at the end of the episode, is I think it was the beginning of Carrie realizing, oh, Aiden wasn't messing around. He
Right.
has a lot of stuff to handle here. He has
Woo,
a whole
yes.
farm. He has lots of family dynamics. So I think it was finally, I mean, I think Carrie realized it once the glass broke in the window and Wyatt stormed off, but I think it was that moment where she realizes she is not going to be the center of his universe and
Nope.
his world right now,
Nope.
and that's okay. I think she's kind
Yeah.
of making that
Yeah.
realization that that's okay, and that she finally realizes Aiden really was not messing around. He
No.
wasn't overreacting in the sense of this situation is really bad and my kids are having issues. And
Yes.
remember, I kind of said that, like, oh, maybe he's lying because
Yeah.
I thought the worst case scenario. I even thought, like, there's something else going on here. And that's
Yeah.
why I appreciated this episode because it got to those issues. We actually got to see it firsthand. I felt like I was sitting at that table trying to play apples to apples with Carrie, and then
Yeah.
that big explosion, we were a part of it. We saw it,
You
and
did.
I liked how Carrie didn't have a lot of dialogue because it showed just like we were watching along, she was watching along. And so I think that moment was important for her to know, okay, he does go out and he does swim. That's a stress reliever. That's his quiet time to, you know, kind of
Yeah.
leave all the crappy stuff behind throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I think that was an important realization and a switch in her mindset.
I agree. And it leads to the talk. And it was a very adult conversation. And it's funny when he breaks and starts to cry. Are you breaking up with me? And old Carrie would be like, yeah, or whatever. No, she's
Oh,
like,
that
no.
broke my heart. I started crying during that part, not gonna lie. When Ada was like, "Are you breaking up with?" And I was like, "Oh no!" It was like his face 20 years
Yes,
later. I mean,
yes.
20 years before.
Right. I was like, wow, I didn't expect that either. Like that
Mm-mm.
was, I mean, and shout out to John Corbett, which is what a great job. I was just like, wow. And she's like, no, she's like, no, 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 not at all. Which means she's evolved and she gets the key.
Yeah. I think
Here's,
that was such a powerful moment
I agree.
because even throughout all of this, the clothes getting lost, her trying to ride the ATV, the noise and craziness of the farm, the stuff with Wyatt, the family dynamic, even through all of that, she would have run away like 5 seconds into it
Oh
from that
yeah. Oh
moment.
yeah, easily.
But the
Yeah.
fact that she still gave him the key and said, "Come when you're ready, come as much as you want." Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but come when
Yeah.
you can. It's such a grown up move
Yes.
and such growth with Carrie.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I'm rewatching some of these episodes and I just like honestly hate Carrie.
Oh, I
There's
know.
so many
The
times
old
that
show.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh my God, she's awful. She's catty. She's
Right.
petty. Just
Yes.
awful
I
judgment.
agree. I agree.
And now I'm actually I'm liking and leaning into this older Carrie. This Carrie that's been around, that understands the importance. She lost her husband, she's lost many loves of her lives, and she's finally settling into herself, finally. And that's kind of what I saw, that glimmer of like passing that key.
Yeah.
It, you're finally seeing the true Carrie grown up.
Yeah. And also earlier when they were in bed, talking about the table apparently, because she's sitting him and you said thumbs down. And I
Yeah.
think because what he was trying to say to her is she's now seeing he's super busy with this shit. He don't got
Hmm.
time for the tables. Like he's not in that same space she is. Not
Yeah.
because he
She
doesn't
has
want
all
to be.
the time, right? She's writing. She
Yes.
doesn't have all those conflicts she has to deal with. She has friends. She goes around and around town. But I love how he was super honest. And that's what's so crazy. It's like she should have just asked him
Right.
why he gave a thumbs down.
Right.
And he was honest about it in person. He said, "Oh, that was just the quickest response I could figure out. I could muster."
Yes.
I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Right.
Honestly, sometimes I do emojis too because I'm
Yeah.
like,
Same here. Same
boop,
here.
boop, 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 like, or like
Yeah.
one word answers, and everyone's like, "Why are they upset? Why are they
Right.
mad at me?" And I'm like, "It was just quick.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
quick
great.
answer."
And I love that later when she's on the plane, it's sold out. It's already been sold.
Hmm.
So it's like, but for someone else, girl, that table wasn't it. So I don't know again if it's a precursor they're not going to make it. Are they going to make it? I still don't know. I still don't know if they're going to make it or not. I mean, there's maturity happening, but I just don't know. I have no from
Yeah,
this. I have no
I
idea.
think I think the furniture table thing is a sign because Aiden. What I'm surprised about is Aiden was a furniture maker.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, why isn't Aiden making a table for her?
I thought the same. I thought the same thing.
I was like, wait, they can they can either pick something together or he can make something.
He's not that space. He's dealing with his kid.
Well, then they
Like,
should pick it together and agree on it at least.
I
But
agree.
honestly, he's doing all of these painting the farmhouse. Get your sons to help build the furniture for the new
Right.
house.
Right.
So,
I think that Aiden is just flying by the seat of his pants. He's trying to figure this out.
yeah, I can see that too. Yeah.
It's weird. This is a weird for him. And he's just like and we make mistakes. You just don't know. You're trying. You just don't know. And I think he does it. He's in chaos right now. He's in
Yeah.
family chaos. And some of us unfortunately have been there with kids. And I was there with one of my kids. And it consumes everything. You're just busy trying to manage that.
They're just
So
trying to
every
live.
day,
They're just trying to like breathe and survive another day.
no, seriously. And so regular mundane things like a table, it just falls to the wayside. Because you're like,
Yeah.
that's not really that important.
Well, you have to like I've been through lots of situations where like you're taking care of someone that's maybe sick and like sometimes you
Yes.
forget to take care of yourself. You forget like,
Yes.
"Shoot, I didn't shower today." Or if you have a new baby, you're like,
Yes.
"I gotta shower today. I gotta actually eat today." And sometimes you
Yes.
forget all those other little things that are super important.
Yes. I agree.
And then because you're taking care of this other person. And so I think that's what Aiden is going through, which is a very relatable thing that we all have gone through in different ways.
Yes.
But
I agree.
it really, I feel for Aiden. Like, I feel really bad that, like, he can't move on with a relationship that he's wanted for a long time. He can't have any sustainability or any security right now. And that's, I feel for him.
I do too. I do too. That's perfectly what it is. Um, so that's that. I mean, she's heading home, and I guess we'll see what happens next week. They don't show credits for the next week, so we don't know what's happening.
I know, I want to
I
know.
want credits. I want to see. I want previews. They don't do that. So anyway, that was your episode. I thought again. I'm with Emily. I think Carrie's maturing, but I just don't know where this relationship's going to end up. I don't know. They have me. I don't know. It could go either direction.
I
They
know.
could break up or stay together.
Yeah, I mean, the question I've been like pondering is like, do you leave this gorgeous flat, this gorgeous apartment empty, waiting for this guy that might show up once a month and
Right.
you text and you call and stuff like that, and you wait another 4 years? Because it's been a year, right? I think
Yeah.
it's been like a year or so if we're like taking the seasons as a year,
Yeah.
um, or the filming in between. But or do you fill it up with lots of stuff? You have parties like Miranda did. You fill it up with friends, lots of fun, and then hopefully he comes back. So like I'm pondering that question, and Carrie I think is going to as well. Especially the garden is going to be made, and there's going to be like creating a new garden. You're flourishing. You have new chapters, new beginnings, and I think she's gonna have to figure this out. It sounds like she's working on like the newest Bridgerton novel. That's what it kind of seems like. So I think she's working on a little period piece, which is gonna be different than her normal
I think I think you're right completely. I think it's and the metaphor is, do I continue with my life,
Mm-hmm.
build without him, and leave room for him?
Yeah,
Or do I continue to keep leaving room for him and trying to include him and stuff? I think she's learning I can't include him in everything anymore.
I
Like that,
know.
I think she got the realization it's just too hard.
It's
He's in
too
a
hard.
space
So
that
she's
that's too
gonna
hard.
have to build this life
Yep,
without him physically, but think
I think
about
so.
him in the back of her mind
Yeah,
and leave little spaces for him, right?
I think
And
so.
that's just what she's gonna have to do. And I think she needs to move past it. I think this trip is gonna be the realization that she needed, kind of the reality check of like,
Yeah,
oh, this is gonna be harder than I thought, but I need to take a big step. And that's gonna be getting that furniture.
I agree. I agree. Well, and just like that, that's your reaction to season 3, episode 4. Like I said, the best episode of the season so far. We're looking forward to seeing what happens. We have another 8 episodes to go. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you follow this channel and find out. Chances are, Rebecca, I got to talk to her always after this, if we're on next Friday or not, but you'll see, just follow us. So follow her, of course. Emily May Heller everywhere. Oh, everywhere, right? Everywhere, you're everywhere.
All social platforms, you'll find me a little blue check mark.
She's everywhere. And I'm everywhere. James on Jr. and JLJ Media, both platforms, both accounts on all platforms. So you'll follow to know when we're coming on again. But I'm assuming it's probably next Friday. But either way, we appreciate you spending your time with us, watching the show, listening to the show. Thank you very much, all the listeners. We appreciate you. HBO Max, call us. We will see you next time. Have a great week.